Friends, today we will be starting off with uniform circular motion. We are going to start with the topic uniform circular motion. Now, circular motion, you all know. What exactly is circular motion? When we start with the topic, the first word is circular motion. Now, when we talk of circular motion, so any body when moves in a circular path, for example, the rotation of automobile wheels, then we have got the motion of electron moving around the nucleus, then we have got the motion of the earth around the sun. All these things comes under the category of circular motion. Now, basically the circular motion is divided into two parts. This circular motion is divided into two parts. One is the uniform and the other one is the non-uniform. Right. Now let us see the basic difference between the uniform and non-uniform. When we talk of the uniform circular motion, then what are the main features? Now the main features of this is what we have got: the speed remains constant. But the velocity changes. Velocity changes continuously. Now, what does the word velocity changes continuously means? Because here, suppose if you take the particle moving in a circular path, maybe the particle is moving with the magnitude remains same because speed is constant. So, magnitude, it means starts from here. The speed is 3 km per hour. Let us assume the direction is given by this. At this particular point, still it remains the speed of 3 km per hour, but the direction is like this. When it came to this position, the speed is 3 km hour, but direction is this. So what you find at every point, the magnitude remains constant, but what makes difference is the direction. So that is the reason when we talk of uniform circular motion, it is divided into two categories. First is uniform, second is non-uniform. In the uniform, what we have got, the speed remains constant and the velocity changes continuously. Okay, so that is what we have. Now second, we talk of non-uniform motion. When we talk of non-uniform motion, then what we have the condition: speed changes with time. And the second, again, the velocity changes continuously. Okay, so here what you find that we have got two factors, both, that is the here the speed is 3 km per hour, here the speed can be 5 km per hour. So every point the speed keeps on changing, the magnitude keeps on changing, and the direction changes as well. So that is the significance of non-uniform motion. So in non-uniform motion, you will have, when we will talk acceleration, you will find that we have got two types of acceleration. We'll talk it little later, but before that we need to know some of the values. Angular, let us talk about angular displacement. Now when we talk of angular displacement, this is your body, and let us assume this is the arc, right? This is the arc, we can call it as delta S, and this is delta theta. So this angle, what it makes is known as angular displacement. So the value of theta can change from 0 to 360 degree, and then again if you take another round, then also it will change like this. Okay, so what you really find that the value of theta keeps on changing like this, right? So this is what we have got, the angular displacement. Okay, so that is, picture is coming little blur. I'm trying to focus it so that I can get a good image to focus. Hope it will help. Okay, so delta theta becomes the angular displacement, and delta S is the linear displacement. And delta theta is the angular displacement. Isn't it? So if we have got r as the radius, then we have got delta theta angle is equals to arc by radius. So we know this formula. Okay, now let us divide both the side by delta t. So delta theta by delta t is equals to 1 by r delta s by delta t, and let us take the limit delta t tending towards 0. So we can write here delta theta by delta t is equals to 1 by r delta s by delta t. Here also we'll have the limit delta t tending towards 0. So we can write d theta by dt is equals to ds by dt 1 by r ds by dt. Right, so we can call this as omega. Omega is the angular displacement, and this is equals to d theta by dt. What we call this as angular velocity. Angular velocity. ds by dt represent linear velocity. So we have got the relation. If you check with the relation, we have got v equals to r omega. So this is the relation between the linear velocity and the angular velocity. So this is the linear relation between the two. So we have done with the relation of the two. So we have spoken about the uniform circular motion. We have seen two different types, and we have seen which one is constant, which one is not. So we have come with the formula. Now let us talk about the acceleration. We can also write this in the, suppose if we want to write it in the vector form, it comes out as v vector equals to omega vector cross r vector. Okay, so this is in the vector form. We are talking about centripetal acceleration. In the next class, we are going to talk about centripetal acceleration, and we are going to find out the relation for the centripetal acceleration. But before we wind up with the relation of the so let us see what are the changes we can have. And v is equals to u plus at. So here the formula, this is the final velocity. We'll write omega as the final velocity. We have got this u as the initial velocity. So initial. Okay, a is acceleration in t time. So we will write omega as angular, this omega naught is initial angular velocity plus alpha t. Alpha becomes acceleration, angular acceleration. Okay, so we will connect with the centripetal force in the next class. Thank you for watching.